In the last video, we talked about survivorship bias, how what you don't see quietly shapes the decisions you make. But the uncomfortable truth is, even when failure is visible, we choose not to see it. And that is confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency to search for, interpret, and remember information in a way that confirms what we already believe. It doesn't mean you ignore facts completely. It means you give more weight to the facts that you like and less weight to the ones that you don't. The dangerous part is that it feels rational while it's happening. Psychologists have studied this for decades, and one classic finding is that people are far better at finding evidences that supports their beliefs than evidence that contradicts them, even when they are trying to be objective. We don't evaluate information neutrally, we evaluate it defensively. Our brains treat being wrong as being a threat. Once you form an opinion about something, be it politics, money, or success, you start finding information that supports it. For example, articles that support your beliefs start to feel well reasoned, and articles that don't start to feel biased and stupid. Same data, different conclusions. For example, when someone starts a new diet and starts noticing results in the first weeks, that result starts becoming evidence that the approach works. Any conflicting evidence is ignored and the placebo effect is dismissed. The belief comes first and the justification follows. If you believe your current job is the right move, you'll notice the positives and rationalize the negatives. If you believe it's the wrong move, then you'll do the opposite. The same job can feel like an opportunity or a trap, depending on what story you're telling yourselves. Confirmation bias doesn't disappear with intelligence. In fact, smarter people are often better at rationalizing their beliefs. They cherry-pick sophisticated evidence to emphasize on their opinions. Intelligence increases confidence, not accuracy. Being good at thinking doesn't mean you're good at changing your mind. This is where confirmation bias directly connects to survivorship bias. Survivorship bias hides failure. Confirmation bias dismisses it. Together, they create a false sense of certainty. Here, you're not just missing information, you're actively filtering it. And once that happens, bad ideas become very hard to kill. So, how do we counteract this confirmation bias? Here's a simple habit you can follow. First, ask what evidence can prove me wrong. And secondly, if I saw the evidence, would I believe it? And lastly, ask yourself, if someone were to believe the opposite, what points would they bring to your attention? If you can't answer these three questions honestly, then you're not reasoning, you are defending. Survivorship bias hides reality. Confirmation bias distorts it. But there's a third step where things really break. When we use incomplete and filtered information to build explanations that look perfect, consistent, and convincing on paper, but completely fail in real life. And that is called overfitting, which is our topic for episode 3 of this series. Remember, confirmation bias doesn't make you wrong. It makes you feel confident whilst being wrong. See you in the next video.